Good evening, everyone.
So just a quick one on this guy. I just looked at his profile. He's like a Zio, like crying about anti-Semitism, like provide me the evidence where I've actually been anti-Semitic. But obviously, this is what these Zios are. So you can see another thing. Why these Andrew Tate haters hate Andrew Tate is obviously they're angry that he became Muslim, and they're literally, a lot of them are Islamophobes and Zionists who've all basically come together to literally attack him. This is an example of it. So let me actually look at, I'll just watch this video while you're going ahead. Go ahead and do independent, because I know you're going to probably speak for a while anyway.
That was Sulaiman Ahmed calling me a Zionist and an Islamophobe. How did we get here? Sulaiman Ahmed, aka Sully, is a large account on the app formerly known as Twitter. Since October 7th, he's been mostly known for his pro-Palestinian posts, but many don't know his dark and douchey history prior to this. He was once a full-time Andrew Tate propaganda PR account. It's been speculated that the Tates have paid Sully to spread propaganda about their cases, such as being the shameless and disgusting levels of simping that we've seen from Sully.
A major update in the Andrew Tate case. We have some leaked messages between the US woman and the UK woman, as well as the US woman and her mother, and these messages blow the case wide open. The women's story shows clear collusion and attempt to extort the Tates, and up until now they almost seem to have succeeded, but the truth has been revealed.
Sully's work for the Tates has gone well beyond PR. He led a vicious online harassment and smearing campaign against two of the Tate's victims in the Romanian case in particular. As the result of harassment from Sully and others, the women were doxxed, confronted in person by Andrew Tate fans, and have had to go into hiding. I'll include in the description the link to my video about Sully's harassment campaign, The Dark Side of Sulaiman Ahmed. Sully even travelled all the way to Florida in an attempt to find dirt on the US-based victim that he could use to discredit her.
Obviously, they want to silence me because I've got so much, like that, so there's so much I've got, so they don't want me to come out with it because they're scared of the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They can't handle the truth. And I know it firsthand because when I was in Florida, I went on a family trip to Florida. While I'm in Florida, this source reaches out to me and literally is like, I'm in Palm Beach. Obviously, I didn't know this chick was in Palm Beach, obviously, at the time. And so he's like, I'm in Palm Beach and I've got so much. And I'm like, look, can you just verify it that you know this, like this woman and so on and so forth. So he gives like a lot of evidence to show like he's a legitimate source. I basically go there, meet the guy, and legit, my mind is blown. Like the stuff I'm learning, I record the interview, I have it all. The stuff I heard was shocking. So as soon as I leave the source, now I made a big error. And the error I made was I took a picture while I was in Palm Beach and said, okay, I'm here for a story. So obviously that was like an error on my part. I shouldn't have posted that. And then they find out about my source. One of my sources, mad. It was crazy, but it was like a crazy time. So that's what happened there.
Sully and his minions have created quite a little echo chamber for themselves on Twitter and especially in Twitter Spaces. When Sully hosts or co-hosts an Andrew Tate themed space for Mario Nawfal, he absolutely refuses to put himself in a position where he can be challenged. He'll block accounts like Murder by Crayons, who can contradict his bullshit with evidence and court documents. A blatant example of this happened back in March. Mario Nawfal's assistant Anastasia reached out to myself, Crayons, and a number of other accounts to appear in a space about the Andrew Tate case. When we got to the space, it was a complete farce. Sully was the co-host. Even though we were invited and made the time to appear, Sully refused to let myself or Crayons on the stage. It was an Andrew Tate PR circle jerk, and anyone who tried to push back at them got screamed and squealed at by Sully's mentally ill friends. It was such a mess that Marlon Ettinger from the Daily Dot spoke to myself and Crayons about this experience and published an article that both Mario and Sully refused to comment in. I'll include the link in the description. Earlier in the month, I got a golden opportunity. Sully was chatting in one of Jacosta's spaces, and he was not a co-host. I put up my hand and I was let up as a speaker. I knew that Sully is such a pathetic coward that this may be the only chance I ever get to confront him. I also knew that as soon as Sully caught on to what was happening, I was going to be quickly removed as a speaker. I decided to try and get at least two things out. One, draw attention to the fact that Sully used to be a full-time Andrew Tate PR account. And secondly, I knew that I wouldn't be able to confront him for long on his Andrew Tate propaganda, so I retweeted a post that I made a few months prior that asked him to clarify his lies about Andrew Tate's UK civil case. Finally, it was my time to speak, and I had to try and get these two things out.
I just recycled Gadget. Can we hear you now? Go ahead, try to speak.
Hey man, can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go. What's up, man?
Awesome. Yeah, good. Thanks for letting me back up, man. I had a question for Sulaiman. And this kind of is more going back to your time as more of a kind of full-time Andrew Tate PR account, I guess. I just kind of retweeted a post that I made a few months back, which asking you a few questions, which you may not have seen, to be fair. So I just kind of brought it back up. One particular one, you posted and said in spaces a number of times about the alleged rape victims of Andrew Tate and saying that you had evidence that they were conspiring to lie and the case was thrown out on that basis. And I have pretty good...
Let's go to the Independent Muslim.
Thank you.
Can we cut to a...
Our boy Jacosta was quick on that trigger finger. Once I was down from the stage, Sully could safely call me a Zio, and he said he would look at my tweet.
Good evening, everyone.
So just a quick one on this guy. I just looked at his profile. He's like a Zio, like crying about anti-Semitism. Like, provide me the evidence where I've actually been anti-Semitic. But obviously, this is what these Zios are. So you can see another thing. Why these Andrew Tate haters hate Andrew Tate is obviously they're angry that he became Muslim. And they're literally, a lot of them are Islamophobes and Zionists who've all basically come together to literally attack him. This is an example of it. So let me actually look at. I'll just watch this video while you're going ahead. Go ahead and do independent because I know you're gonna probably speak for a while anyway.
Thank. I'll try to be really short.
So Sully said he was going to respond to my post. Remember, I had just retweeted the post in question so that it was at the top of my feed for him to see. So before listening to his response, let's look at the tweet that I directed him to and see if his answer matches my questions. Sully, I am publicly calling you out as a disgusting liar and challenging you to prove to the internet that I'm wrong. You have repeatedly claimed that two of McHugh Jury's clients, who allege Andrew Tate raped them, were caught in text messages, discussing how they were going to lie about the allegations. I have seen no evidence of this and have only heard this from you, Andrew, or his other PR agents. It looks like you are defaming likely victims of rape to run PR for Andrew Tate. This is your opportunity to clarify these claims and clear your name. Can you provide evidence for this claim, which contradicts the alleged victims, the Hertfordshire Police, and the legal teams? If not, the public should become more aware of what you are really about. Here is a post of Sully's, making the claim that I'm referring to, that the two women were caught in text messages, colluding to lie about Tate, and as a result, the case was dropped. Okay, now that you have the context, let's listen to Sully's answer.
So I watched the video of this.
No, I'm done.
Zio.
What was the
I'm
video?
done.
That's right. Yeah. So I watched this video of the Zio. I told him my boy Independent will take over while I'm like reading it, and he'll make his point. So anyway, the point was Gadget, this Gadget Zio guy. I looked at it and he's like, "Oh my God, he's been anti-Semitic," and it's literally the Krastensteins when they came up my space, and I basically smashed them for being Zios. And one of the things they were crying about was in one of the posts, like there was an image and the image had been changed from the Israeli flag. If you've seen it, they put like a Nazi symbol in the middle of it, and like the whole argument about that being anti-Semitic is ridiculous because the people who believe in that argument, their position is that they're acting in the same manner that the Nazis are, and if the Jewish people believe that the Nazis oppressed them, then the Israelis are doing that to the Palestinian people, and therefore there is some form of correlation. So, but then this Zayo, literally, this guy, and it's funny that a lot of these Zayos are Andrew Tate haters, literally was like, oh, he's being anti-Semitic. So just to give people an update on what the Zayo was saying.
Oh yeah, the one who was just like trying to give like a whole speech about
Gadget.
like that. Yeah, that dude. Yeah. So that's what the video was about, basically claiming that you're anti-Semitic or something like that.
Yeah, that's the one that's the video they put up of me and Khaleesi on the spacer with the Krastensteins.
Yeah.
Smashing them.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
You just heard the recording of me asking Sully the question in the space and saw the post that I directed him to, that I was asking him to respond to. Did you see anything about the Krasensteins or me calling him anti-Semitic? Sully got into the post that I was asking him to respond to, swiped down in the thread with his dumb little fingers, where 3 posts down I attached a video of him being an anti-Semitic fuck to the Krasenstein twins.
I know it's hard for I know you guys are used to appropriating land, so you think that you can appropriate the space, but it's not going to work here, right? Now, coming back to the second point in hand, like I said,
I'm an American. What are you talking about?
Okay, Brian, you're a Zionist. You're a Zionist.
Wait, Sulaiman, 1 second, guys. Listen, really wanted to jump in.
No, this is how Zionists work. Yeah, this is how Zionists work, right? So coming back to the point, he's gonna go again, right?
Wait a sec.
Okay, no, I'm gonna finish my point. You're gonna learn some manners. You're gonna listen, and then I'm gonna let you go. I know it's hard for you because you're Zionists. You're used to controlling it. Used to controlling Twitter. You're used to controlling everything, but it's not gonna happen, right? So
Sully, like the coward he is, deliberately ignored what I was actually asking him about the UK victims and scrolled down to find something irrelevant that he could cry, "Zayor, Zayor!" Everyone that disagrees with him on anything is a fucking Zayo to this absolute tool. Or in this case, an Islamophobe. Good luck finding one Islamophobic thing on my feed, you absolute bellend. But I can find you being all buddy-buddy with the former head wizard of the Ku Klux Klan just a few weeks ago, you Nazi fuck. I'm not sure there's a more embarrassing flog on social media than this guy. He seems to have convinced himself he's an actual celebrity, when you'd be hard-pressed to find one person outside of Elon Musk's cesspit of an app who has a clue who he is. To finish on a more positive note, in an absolute coincidence, friend of the channel, Murder by Crayons, just dropped an absolutely brutal takedown video on Sulaiman, debunking some more of his embarrassing lies, pushing back against the bullshit and propaganda coming from Andrew Tate's team, with a second-to-none knowledge of the case in Romania. I highly recommend checking out the video and subscribing to him. In the meantime, watch this space. No more Mr. Nice Gadget. I've got some things in the kitchen.